Hey guys, welcome back. It's your favorite Gimp with the Limp, and I'm here with the next part of U-Boat that just released by Phalanx Games. This one is the one where we're actually going to get in and start playing the game, and like I said, I'm not going to have the camera up on a tripod with a steady film. I've got it in my little gyroscopic holder here, that way I can take and move around and we can take and look at all the different areas and pan over here to the app, which is a big part of this game. And I've already seen the comments online, and I get it from some people. They've said, they would take and play this game when and if it, doesn't require an app. I get it. Some people don't want to have apps as part of their games, and some people really like it. I'm someone that really likes it. I think it's a cool mix of technology and old school gaming. I think it's a nice step forward. Some people, don't prefer it. But that's the cool part, is that you can take and avoid it if you don't want to have it. Yes, I do have the sound on. You guys can hear the music in the background. And I have to leave it on because I need to be able to hear some of the things that happen in the game, like when watch changes and stuff like that. So you guys will have a little bit of music in the background. I was going to try to cut off the music, but it doesn't look like it has a option for that. I wish it did, but it does not. It does have options for things like noise meter, which evidently will use the mic in your tablet or phone or whatever you're using. And if you're trying to go stealthy, that will actually pick up if you're making noise, like when you're talking to your other players, and alert the other ships if they're using like their hydrophone to try to find you underwater. Real neat addition to the game. All right, but before we get started, I've got the game set up. I did post a picture on Facebook recently that I just finished with my 3D printed model to replace this. It's going to take a little tweaking and putty and stuff like that, and some paint to try to touch it up. It really didn't print that well, so I'm trying to make it look better. But I do like the fact that I do have a replacement for this one in case I end up breaking it or, whatever happens. Because it is, a cardboard model. They're going to wear out over time. So it's nice to have a plastic version. I should have that done by the next video to show you guys. All right, let's take and jump into the app here. I'm going to do play game, single mission. You can do single mission, linked mission, or campaign. And it's like you would think. This is a one-off. This is like a scenario, a handful of missions, and this is like all the missions. So this, and we're going to do our training mission in August 1941. And the reason I'm doing that one is because I'm absolutely positive this video is going to take me, this playthrough is going to take me more than one video to get through, because there's just so much going on here. And for that, I've already played through this. That way, some of the stuff I've already done, like the drawing on the map and lining up the different areas that we're going to, and it'll save me a little time. And that way, if we go into the next part, I don't have to worry about keeping the app saved or anything like that. I can just pop right back in, start the mission up, and we can go to whatever point we want to. So you'll select your mission. We'll do training mission, and it's giving a little notice if this is your first game. For us, it is, but for me, it's not. Let's take and hit next. All right, here's where you're going to take and select your difficulty for all the different sections. I definitely recommend selecting easy to start off with. One of the complaints about this game is when it comes to your activations. So over here, your little circles down here in between each one of the shifts, that they fill up ungodly too quick for it to be anywhere near effective. That just basically, for example, issuing an order to start up the U-boat and pick a direction and get going has pretty much burned out a few sailors. And if you have to change direction, you're pretty well done at that point until the next watch, and you burn out too quick. By selecting this to easy, it makes it to where it plays in a way that I think feels more natural. In that, one, you slide your crew instead of flipping it. That just does make it easier, like we talked about in the overview. But when we're doing the orders, okay, here it's in activation, but adjusting the order track, you'll take and go all the way back to the start of it instead of just like 5 spaces back. And plus you can do something what's called a high alert. So if you, as the captain, issue a high alert, that brings the order track all the way back down to the left, and then you'll place an activation token there in the farthest right space. So what I mean by that is, let's say you get into a contact, but you've only got one order left to issue, and you know you're not going to switch over to another watch anytime soon. You can say, hey, high alert. It sends it all the way back. And then you take an activation token and you place it right there, reducing your total amount of activations or orders that you can give, but giving you a whole lot more, because people just were not having enough orders to take and get through what they needed to. This gives you 2 high alerts that you can use per watch. So that definitely does help out. Also, when it comes to your activations, if the sailor specializes in the order that he's carrying out, you do not place an activation token. You only do that if he doesn't specialize in the whatever he's doing. And then for busy orders like watch will be carried out normally. That also, coming back over here, let's point out our little watch. If one of these guys, for example, were to do a torpedo action, you would not place an activation token down for him because that is their action. Same over here. If these guys were to cook a meal or use the 20 mil gun, this is their specialization, that and doing a watch. So you don't have to take and actually place an activation token down there for them. So I definitely recommend doing that for each one of them. So captain, make sure you go through each one of them. First officer, hit easy. And this will also adjust the amount of starting materials that you're going to have. This slide, instead of changing it for the watch, navigator will bump that down to easy. If I can get it to do it. Meal prep. I'm going to do something a little different with meal prep, and this is my idea instead of what they're trying to do as far as easy. What I'm going to do as far as meals are concerned, because like I said in my overview, I think this is just busy work. There's so much other cool stuff going on. Playing the food pyramid. I'm not in elementary school. I don't want to do the damn food pyramid. I'm just going to take a couple of tokens out each time they eat a meal, and bam, they ate. And then once they take and burn through all their food, then I'll follow their rules for perishable goods, which is there's an order. It's like meats and vegetables and whatever. So once you take and run out of food, you would shuffle them all back in, with the exception of the meats first. The meats will have spoiled, so you'll have less. And then you'll do it again with the exception of vegetables and so on. I'm just going to follow that on down, with the exception I'm not dealing with the food pyramid. I'm just going to take 2 tokens out each time I feed them to cover the fact that they have eaten. And it talks about their meal preparation, and the app adjusts that. And then chief engineer. Engineer has his cards that they can use to upgrade things, and then also slide. So now we've set all of our 4 stations. We'll hit next. This gives us our mission briefing, okay? This goes over the fact that it has training scenarios set up of varying difficulty. That way you can kind of test yourself. I like it as a tutorial mission because it lets you go to a whole bunch of different things to learn how to play the game. And for me, filming videos, this works very well because I know what's going to be in each section. That way, if I want to show off a specific thing, I can go there. We're going to start in AN 38, and then we're going to be able to go to either AN 93 or 67 for lone merchant vessels that we can go there to do torpedo attacks or to learn how to use our 88 mil cannon. We're going to start with this as our first mission. Or first video rather. There are other things we can do. In 49, we can encounter a convoy that's protected by escorts, so we can learn how to approach. In a trip to the quadrants, AN 35 and 36 will let you prepare your crew for attacks from the air, so you can practice using the 20 mil gun. And AN 31, on the other hand, has a minefield in the area. Let's see what else it says. Get to know your crew better, blah, blah, blah. All right, sink as much as you can. We started in AN 38. Starting time is 8 a.m. Mission time 2 days, and then it gives you your loadout of remaining torpedoes. So we are good to go. We hit start mission. It's going to load. Okay, here is your basic screen. You do have a pause button right over here. On the top right, it shows you what time it is, real, action, fast, and transit. So you can take and basically scroll through the different levels of speed. Bottom left, this is where you're going to adjust your speed, your course, your depth. You can use your binoculars if you've set observers. I'll pause this because I'm going to do a lot of pausing. You pause a lot when you're playing solo because it takes that time to take and work through everything. One of the things it talked about, and I forget where I read this, and I didn't see it in the tutorial thing, the startup of the mission, it was saying where all your sailors start, and it was like 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. I don't like that. I think it's bad. I think you should be able to pick where your sailors start, so that's what I'm going to do. It's just a waste of an activation versus taking and having them where you know you're going to need them. So I've got 3 of my observers up here on the top deck. That's section 8. You guys can see I've already got observation markers down for them because they're going to be doing observing. The only one from the navigator who's not there observing, and technically he could be. I mean, there's really no reason for him not to. He's the cook. He's down here in the galley, and the only reason to really have him there is just as a floater, so I can throw him somewhere else if I need to for repairs or whatnot. The white guys are the captain's men, and I have them in the places that they need to be. The captain, the torpedo guy, the TDC, which is the torpedo computer, the torpedo reloader and flutter, and then there's another one back here, the white one with the triangle. He is basically another floater to help with repairs or basic maintenance until it gets to the point where he's needed possibly to go to the back to fire the rear torpedo or go up to the front to help out just wherever he's needed. Brown guys I've got put where they need to be. Electric engine, diesel engine, and ballast. They can move around as need be, but the chief engineer is right here by the diesel engine. That's where his place is. He needs to keep our ship moving. Blue guys are our first officer. Those are our gunners, helmsmen, radio operators. The radio operator and Enigma machine right here. And then 2 helmsmen, because you need 2 helmsmen to take and steer it. I don't know why. Hey, one of you guys that was in the Navy, explain to me why it takes 2 guys to turn a sub. I'm thinking in that movie like Down Periscope where they've got them both sitting there at the wheel and they're both turning it. Why not 1 steering wheel? I mean, it's not like the 2 guys are muscling the thing over. I get having a backup, but it looks like they're both turning it at the same time. So what is it? It's kind of like that separate keys thing. You got to have 2 keys to turn the ship. I don't know. One of you submariners, Navy guys, let me know down below. I know I could Google it, but I'd rather ask you guys, get you guys all involved. And obviously our captain here as well to do periscoping, ordering, all the other crap. So our crew is set up where they need to be. Now getting back to our app, hit resume here. If we go to observers, we can hit 3, and you need to enter in the amount that you have because the more that you have, the more likely that you are to take and spot enemy whatever. Oh, and I just noticed you guys can like see me in the reflection. Hi. All right, so we hit confirm. And bam, look at that. How cool is that? And sorry, you guys are getting my lighting in the background. You can take and pan this across. And you can see there's the front of the submarine. And then we'll pan around to the back. And you guys see the graphics actually aren't too bad on this thing. I mean, it is a little app game, so they're not going to be phenomenal, but they're not bad. Let's see if we can see any land. Up here in the top left, that's the zoom feature. I doubt, oh, no, there was. Yep, you can see that there is a little land, and I'll show you guys on the map where we are, and you'll understand why you can see a little land. Let's make sure it's pan back to the front. All right, so 0 is the front where we're at. We can take and issue orders from here as well, speed, course, all the other good stuff. Down over here to the bottom right, this is where we're going to take care of other stuff that's going on. Of course, and it starts us with a friggin' task. All right, let's show this real quick before too much time goes on because I want to take and get this taken care of. I'm pausing it because I don't want to lose time. But you guys see new maintenance task, torpedo tube 5, checkup section 6. This is in green. This is very specific. So that is section 6. That is our tail end. So we are going to take one of our green markers, and we will place it right there, and that signifies that this section has a minor maintenance task to be accomplished. Minor, not a big deal, but if we don't do these little minor maintenance tasks now, they can become yellow, possibly bad later, or they can become red and combat ineffective. The torpedo tube no longer works at that point, and it's going to take longer to repair. Greens are not things that you have to worry about jumping on right now if you're in the midst of combat. But if you're in a situation like we are, where we're not doing anything, there's no reason we can't assign someone. So since they did start us off with a maintenance thing, let's go ahead and show you guys how it's taken care of. Sorry, I'm knocking stuff down here. Now, I know I'm moving around a lot, but there's just, this thing's huge. All right, so right up here, we're going to go down to repairs. And you guys see, there it is, repairs, and then, oh no, it takes 2. Well, that sucks. So let's pause again. And looking at this, we have only 1 guy there. Well, I'm going to have to issue a mobilization order. So, bam, Captain will issue a mobilization order. And I'm not too worried about wasting an order now because I know already that it's going to take us at least 6 hours to get to our target. So we're going to have fresh orders by the time we get there anyway. And I know you're thinking, why not take one of the brown guys? Well, last time I played this, like 4 repairs popped up on the way to the thing. So I want to save my brown guys for other repairs. I'm going to use this floater and I'm going to move him over. So now we do have 2 men there that can conduct repairs. Only one of them will be charged in activation though, the white guy. So what you do is you get more of these little tokens, and we have the brown square and the white triangle. The white triangle is over here, and he is going to get, oh, sorry, there's a token left on here from my previous game. So he is going to get this little green token signifying the fact that he is helping out with the repairs. Now, these are done the same way that we would do them normally. So this guy would still get an activation spent doing the repairs. He can't take and just avoid it, unfortunately. But they don't get charged for, or an activation for adjusting the speed, which is what those icons represent. Now that we have taken and put that in, we've got 2 guys doing it. We can hit OK. We'll go to our repairs. We'll hit start, or where's the thing? Okay, yeah. Hit the little thing. We hit 2 guys are doing it. Confirm. And working. So they're working on the repairs. This is an ongoing project. Are you shitting me? Another one. Damn, stop. This is why I want to keep it on pause. They just threw another one. Section 5. Oh, wait. Oops. Repair started. I was like, no, don't hit me with another one. You guys can actually see there's only 1 repair going there. Last time I got a little irritated because I had like 4 of those damn things going at once. I was like, stop it. I don't want to worry about repairs right now. Okay, so you see we've got observations going on. We started our repairs. And to show you what the last couple of buttons are before we get into what we're doing here, instruments, we have our sextant. So if we want to use the sextant to confirm where we are, which is AN38, which is the navigator. He's the one that does the sextant. You can see he's got the symbol. He is also up here in 8 in the sextant position, so we can use that. Section 8 there, crew in position, confirm, yes. We are in quadrant AN38. Outstanding. So that's how you get your definite position. Other instruments that you can use is the Enigma. You'll see that when we actually get a message, and you do have to decode it. And armament to take and check your armament, or use your 20 mil deck gun or your 88 mil gun. You can take and fire torpedoes. You guys will see torpedoes and stuff when we get up on them. You can also fire torpedoes from your periscope, which is where you're generally going to be doing it. But you're going to wait to have to see that when we're dived. Now let's pause real quick and go back over here, because I need to pan down so you guys can see the navigator. The navigator is what we've got going on. Let me get these little minis out of the way. We'll be using them later. And I'm not using that crappy little wooden pin. they gave us. Now you can see I've got some marks here already. This is where I was playing previously, and I went ahead and marked the zones for the tutorial mission. Now, the one we're going to go after, as an example here, we're in AN38. And what number is this? 90 something, 93 or 97? I think it's 93. I've got it marked over 93. We're going down here to 93, and there's a lone merchant vessel. Normally, you're not going to know what's there. Again, the tutorial mission, it makes it easy for me to show you guys what's up. And also, you can see that's how we could see land, because we're relatively close to it here. But we're going to go in this direction. Now you're going, okay, well, that's great and all, but how do we know what that direction is? Well, that's where your little protractor thingy comes in. And we take this and we orient it. And one of the things that I found that helps is to take and draw your line out pretty long. That way you can take and have it extending past. Now you're going to take and orient the the dot that you're starting at to either 180 or 0, basically straight up and down, to take and verify what direction you're actually going in. So let me look off camera and get this set up here. And we'll keep scrolling back until our line passes. So you can see there's my little line that I drew out past it, and it's going at 175 degrees when we've got everything lined up. Okay, so that's how you determine your direction. You draw your line out, you orient your little dot there, either straight up and down, center, whatever. And you don't have to have it perfect. You get in the ballpark. And wherever the degree comes out, that's where you're heading. So you can see we're heading 175 degrees. This isn't like north, south, whatever. For our purposes, when you're using it on this big map, 0 degrees north, 0 degrees is north, 90 degrees is west, 180 is south, and then 270 is west. So, or did I say what, east? Is that right? So there's also something else that they did that helps for navigation on this map, and it comes in with this little ruler. So when you're taking and using this, let's say that we're something that I haven't marked on. We're here in 46 and we're wanting to see how long it's going to take us to get into 35. Well, you line up the ruler, and however far you're going for each one of these, so 0, 3, 6, 9, each one of those is an hour at full ahead on the surface. So subtract that by half if you're underwater, but you're not going to travel in transit mode underwater because you only have about 20 hours. So basically each one of these squares is an hour of in-game time. So in our distance here, if I drop this, let's turn it. Now you guys can see. I'm sorry, I'm doing this one-handed, so it's a little bit harder. But if we line up where we are and where we're going, you guys can see that's roughly 2 hours of game time. It'll take just a touch longer if it plays out like it did last time, but we know, okay, it's going to take us about 2 hours to get there, and we can plan around that when we're planning our mission. You can do that with anything else. Same thing when you're looking at this. This is a mile, each one of these little squares, when you're plotting this out, or a kilometer, depending on whichever setting you have in the game. It makes it real easy when you're determining your distance. They tried to kind of make it blocky and easy. But that shows us the direction that we're going. We're going 175. And I do, let me grab this up, recommend writing it down. You guys can see I actually wrote it down there previously. We're going towards 93. It's 175 degrees, and it's going to take us roughly 2 hours to get there. I recommend printing these out with a little bit of space on the side so you can jot down notes, and or taking and having a little scrap paper next to you, because you are going to need it. And if you're like me and you're playing this by yourself, you have a lot to keep track of. You are going to have to take and, stay on top of that stuff. All right, so we'll hit resume. We will take and go over here to our, now this is going to be multiple orders. All right, so let's first make sure we're doing this right. We're going to issue an order. Bam. order is to take and adjust our course. We're going to hit course. We'll spin this around to 175, which we can take and tap this for precise. Okay, that's the course that we want. We'll hit check mark. Is the crew in position? First officer needs to be 2 helmsmen in section 3. Yes, they are there. We will confirm. All right, so that has laid in our course. You guys can see that it's actually updated. But we're not going anywhere. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to issue another order. Our next order from our captain is going to be to set our speed. Our speed needs to be full ahead. So we're at stop now. We'll click full ahead. We will confirm. Is the crew in position? Now, does it take 2 of those guys? I didn't think it took 2 of those guys to take and adjust the speed, but I guess it does. So let's just pretend we started this guy over here and we'll say that he's there and ready to go. Or which one is it? Yeah, I grabbed the right one. We'll just pretend he started there instead. So he's good to go, and we'll take and adjust our speed. Bam. Now let's pause. We will also take and adjust that here on our little chief engineer's board. We are going full ahead, and we're still here on the surface, so we don't have to take and adjust anything there. So now we are good to go. We are moving, and I'll tell you what, we will pick up, since I'm already at half an hour just now, pick up in the next part with steaming ahead at transit speed over to the target. And I'm willing to bet if it's anything like the first handful of times I played through this little starter scenario, that we'll have like some Enigma messages and some other stuff to come up to take care of. All right, that's going to be it for this one. You guys take care. I will catch you in the next one.